I have grape in my teeth, so if you see it, please ignore it. Also, my hair is just a mess. Please excuse it. I went to a dance class last night and I did back-to-back classes and I can't be bothered. I sleep on my right side, so this side's less curly than this side, so please ignore that. Oh my god, I hate how that looks. So everyone, today's video is my November TBR, which I cannot believe that we only have 2 months left of this year. That's insane to me. If you guys saw my 10 before the end video, a lot of the books from that video I'm probably going to try and put on the monthly TBRs for the next 2 months because I do really want to get to some of those. There's a couple that I have to get them into the TBR for this month. So we are also going to do spinning wheel, and because I have a camera that autofocuses, I can actually do this for you now too. I don't have to try and edit it, which is fantastic. So without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into the video. Okay, let's do spin number 1. This is my own prompt wheel that I have made. Orange on the cover. Okay, is Glow of the Everflame kind of orange? I think it does have orange on it. Let me have a look. It does have orange on it. Okay, so that was nice and easy. Like I said, a lot of the books from my 10 before the end are going to end up on the TBR because I want to get through some of them. So we're going to put Glow of the Everflame by Penn on. That's the first one. I'm not going to read you the back because it is the second book in the series for the Kindred's Curse saga. So this comes after Spark of the Everflame. So I'm not going to read you the back because I obviously don't want to spoil anything. That is book number 1. Let's spin again. That said orange on the cover. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hide the slices so that I don't get the same one every time. So we're going to go spin again. Yellow on the cover. Okay, I have grapes to snack on while I film this because I'm hungry. Okay, we're gonna have a look and see what I can find. And I'm also not going to swap books around. So Glow of the Everflame is staying as orange because Ignite Me has orange on the cover, but I don't even know if that's the first one. No, Unravel Me is the next one in the series anyway. So I'm just trying to decide, I think the only one I've got that's got yellow on the cover is either the Rose Bargain or A Court of Silver Flames. I think I might put the Rose Bargain on because A Court of Silver Flames is huge and I don't know, I kind of want to read it. Nah, you know what, we're going to do this one because I do have really big books on my 10 before the end that I want to read. So, okay, so the Rose Bargain. It says England 1848. The season is officially open. High society girls line up to bargain with the immortal queen, Morin, for qualities that will win them suitors. A perfect smile for the loss of a finger, an exquisite talent for piano in exchange for one's happiest childhood memory. Lady Ivy Benton's season arrives with a shocking twist. The queen announces a competition to win the hand of her Fae son, Prince Bran, and marrying the prince is a prize that could save Ivy's family from ruin, and her sister from the bargain that destroyed her. Yet every glittering Fae deal has a rotting heart, and amidst the lavish balls, vicious competitions, and dangerous alliance with Prince Bran's irresistible brother, Prince Emmett, Ivy soon realizes that at the center of this contest lies a dark plot that could easily destroy all of England and her heart along with it. So yeah, I've had this on the TBR for a couple of months now and it does sound super interesting. I'm super excited to read it. I think it's been on the TBR, the monthly TBRs, a couple of times this year, but I'm really excited to read it. So hopefully we get to that one sooner rather than later because this is another one that I kind of want to read before the end of the year. It just didn't make the top 10. Okay, let's spin again. No, there we go. Oh, I didn't hide that slice, that's okay. Reread a fave. Ooh, okay. There's a couple of books that I do want to do rereads of because I haven't read them for so long or I want to annotate them. I'm gonna do Hooked because I do want to reread this entire series so I can annotate the whole series. So I think we're going to go Hooked by Emily McIntire. This is the first book in the Never After series. These are a series of interconnected standalones. You have mafia romances. They're all kind of like a dark mafia romance. I'll read you the back of this one. Also, they're all reimaginings of our favorite childhood stories. So this is a Peter Pan retelling or reimagining and I really love it. Actually, these aren't interconnected standalones either. They're complete standalones. That was my bad. So this says, he wants revenge, but he wants her more. James has always had one agenda, destroy his enemy, Peter Michaels. When Peter's 20-year-old daughter, Wendy, shows up in James's bar, he sees his way in. Seduce the girl for his revenge. It's the perfect plan until things in James's organization begin to crumble. Suddenly, he has to find the traitor in his midst. and his plan for revenge gets murkier as James starts to see Wendy as more than just a pawn in his game. Wendy has been cloistered away most of her life by her cold, wealthy father, but a spontaneous night out with friends turns into an intense and addictive love affair with the dark and brooding James. As much as she knows James is dangerous, Wendy can't seem to shake her desire for him, but as their relationship grows more heated and she learns more about the world he moves in, she finds herself unsure if she's falling for the man known as James or the monster known as Hoover. So, love this book. I'm very excited to reread that. I hope to God it lives up to what I remember of it. I hid that slice this time. Next spin. Less than 300 pages. Okay, love that for me. I don't think any of those are under 300 pages. Definitely not the fantasy books. I don't think these romance pages are either. Oh, these are 321, 312, because that's one of my 10 before the end. What else have we got? I don't know what else we've got that's going to be under 300 pages. Do you know what's the other one I can think of? I don't know where it is. I do have Fearful by Lauren Roberts, the last novella. I think maybe this one, because just looking at my shelf, I don't see anything that's under 300 pages, and I'm pretty sure everything that's on my 10 before the end pile is over 300. Yeah, this is 400 and something. Okay, so we either bend the rules just a little bit and go slightly over by 12 pages, or we do just under. You know what, we're gonna have to do just under, because that just doesn't seem fair. To be honest, over the next couple of months I probably won't stick to the TBR, but I still like making these videos, so who cares. Also, should mention that Brimstone comes out this month, I think on the 7th, and I will be reading that as soon as it comes out, because recently read Quicksilver, obsessed. But Fearful by Lauren Roberts. This is the novella that runs along with Fearless. I am not going to read you the back because I don't want to spoil anything that happens in Fearless, because in Powerful that definitely did happen. Like, there was definitely some overlap and there was some spoilery stuff that happened in this. So Fearful is the 4th book on the TBR. Let's spin again. What's with this? I don't know if I have anything with purple on the cover. Releasing 10 got purple on the cover, because I really want to read this book. Yes, this has purple on the cover, Releasing 10. So I really want to get this series finished, and this is a big book, like, my God. Anyway, so we're going to do Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. I will read you the back of this, because as much as it's the sixth book in the series, they're like interconnected standalones or like interconnected duets. So they kind of follow like similar timelines, or they continue on for timelines, but they follow different characters. So I'm going to read you the back of this. I have a feeling it's going to be like a past present timeline sort of thing, which I'm all for. Okay, so yeah, I think this is going to be like not quite like as much of a past timeline for Lizzie and Huey, but I'm very excited to read this book, and like I said, I'm probably going to start this today. Either this one or another book. We'll see if we can get it on the TBR. Okay, let's spin again. I'm going to eat a grape while we spin. A mythical creature on the cover. Now, I don't think... Ooh, okay. The book I was going to do was When the Moon Hatched, because it's got a dragon on it. However, I didn't think that this had it, and this is a book that I'm very excited to read, but it's got a direwolf on the sword. So I think we're going to go for Direbound, because this is about direwolves, so that's obviously a direwolf. And direwolves are mythical creatures, so we're gonna go with this one. I will read you the back. I'm super excited for this book. This is the other book that I was saying that if I can get it on the TBR this month, that I might end up reading this. But I do also have The Games Gods Play, Soul of a Witch, and A Touch of Darkness on my monthly TBR. That's all I have left on my monthly TBR to read, and I've also read more books than what's up here as well. So like, I kind of also want to finish that, so we shall see. I have this week, so we'll see how much reading I get done. But this one I'm releasing 10 to like the two like priority, like really high priority reads before the end of the year for me. So this says, only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. Meryn Cooper has always hated the bonded, elite warriors who form mental links with the massive, vicious direwolves they ride. The bonded live in luxury while Meryn struggles to keep her family out of poverty. And when her little sister, Celia, is kidnapped, stolen across the border by the immortal monsters her country has spent centuries fighting, Meryn's world falls apart. Desperate to cross the front and save her sister, Merrin enlists in the army and is thrown into the deadly bonding trials where any mistake will cost her her life. Now Merrin must survive 4 months of training at the castle. She is bound to a feral direwolf who refuses to communicate. The other trainees would love to spill her common blood, and her cold and beautiful instructor, Stark Therian, is eager to punish any weaknesses. Everything is a competition and everyone is out to get her, everyone except the dangerously handsome crown prince, whose attention adds another target to her back. In the castle, every smile hides a knife, and the halls hide dark secrets. It's bond or bleed, duel or die, failure is ruin. I'm super excited for this. I have heard that this is basically just Fourth Wing, but with direwolves, and like, I'm totally okay with that. I will definitely eat the same thing over and over again, so I am excited for that. I do realize that it also just like stolen across the border by the immortal monsters her country has spent century fighting, like the immortal, like Venom. They've spent centuries fighting Venom in Fourth Wing, so the more I read the back, the more I see more similarities just in the back than like from actually reading it. But I'm still excited to read this book. So that is for a mythical creature on the cover because we have a direwolf on the sword. I know that's kind of tweaking the rules, but it's my TBR. I can do what I want. Okay, let's go again. How many have I got? Okay, we've got 6, and then I've obviously got Brimstone comes out in like a week or 2, so that's going to be 7. So let's put 3 more on the TBR, maybe 4 more, we'll see. I usually put about 10 on the TBR. More than 500 pages. Okay. Well, this is good. We can get, I have quite a few that are more than 500 pages that are on my 10 before the end. I don't know if this one is though. Okay, we either do When the Moon Hatched or Empire of the Vampire. I know they're 2. Oh, you know what? Because I've got what? Hang on. Let me just see how much fantasy I've got. Okay, I changed my mind because I have 4 fantasy on the TBR, 5 including Brimstone, and I've only got 2 like non-fantasy books. So I know that this book is going to be 500 pages, 537 pages. It is Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas. I have been hesitant to read this book because I read Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, and the more I think about it, the more I hated it. However, I have heard that she's a really great author, and I've just heard that like Corrupt is just a really bad book by her. So I think that I'm going to put this on. This is 530 something pages, I think I saw. Yeah, it's like 540 pages. So I will read you the back. It says, on the other side of town are 5 brothers. Macon is the oldest. I've never seen him smile. Army is a single dad with beautiful green eyes. Iron will be in prison soon. Dallas is the one I hate. Trace used to be mine. I need to go home, away from the swamps and these men. I'll leave tomorrow. I'll crash on the couch tonight. Everyone is asleep except for one. He sees me crying. I let him wrap his arms around my body and hold me. I don't think it was Trace, which means it was another brother. I don't know who, but I can't help but want him to hold me again. I love taboo romances like this. I'm pretty sure this is like a why choose sort of thing, and I love taboo romances like this. So we're going to put this one on the TBR because I just think that this will be great for me to read. Because in a dark romance setting like this, I don't mind a why choose. This one is book number 7 on the TBR. Guys, we have not put even 5 books. I've still got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only put 2 books from my 10 before the end on the TBR, which is concerning. Spin again. Blue on the cover. Okay, I know I did just say that I wasn't going to put a fantasy book on because of how much fantasy I've got, but I really want to finish this book. I am about 1/3 of the way into it. You can see there. I'm about 1/3 of the way into it. I'm sure that you guys have heard me talk about this book a couple of times already on this channel. I was so excited to read this book. It came out at the start of this year. I think it came out the same day as Onyx Storm or like a week after. I read A Feather So Black and absolutely loved that last year, and I was so excited for this book to come out this year. Also, just like look at the covers of these books. Like A Feather So Black is just as stunning. It's like pink and blue and purple and yellow, and it's really stunning. But this is the second book in the Fair Folk trilogy by Lyra Selene. I'm not going to read you the back because I don't want to ruin it for you, and I'm also like I said, I'm 1/3 of the way through this book, so you know, I've only got a few hundred pages to read rather than like 400 pages. I've got like 200 pages to read. So I think we're going to put a Crown So Silver on for blue on the cover because it's got a lot of blue on it, you know, like a lot of blue. I have some big books on the TBR. I just counted them and I was like, it looks like way more than 8 books. No, it's only 8 books. So we're going to do 2 more. Very ambitious of me, I know, but I'm not at uni, so Spin again. Did I hide that slice? No, hide that slice. Okay, go. Green on the cover. I keep getting these things and it's doing my head in, but that's fine. We have 2 from my 10 before the end stack that I've got, and I would really love to put one of these on there because then that way I'm only down to 6 on the 10 before the end. So it's either Wicked Beauty or Brutal Prince. I'm kind of leaning towards Wicked Beauty because I love Katee Roberts' writing and I love this series by her. So like so far I've read 2 books by her in this series, and I think that like her dark romance I lean more towards rather than Sophie Lark's. I have read 2 books by Sophie Lark. I have enjoyed both of them, but I've read 3 or 4 books by her now and I love Katee Roberts. So I think we're going to go for this one. I also just love like the mythology that's included in this. I've read you the back of this multiple times, but I'll read it again. She was never ours to claim. In Olympus, you either have the power to rule or you are ruled. Achilles Callus may have been born with nothing, but as a child, he vowed he would claw his way into the poisonous city's inner circle. Now that a coveted role has opened to anyone with the strength to claim it, he and his partner Patroclus Photis plan to compete and double their odds of winning. Neither expect infamous beauty Helen Casos to be part of the prize, or the complicated fire that burns the moment she looks their way. Zeus may have decided Helen is his to give away, but she has her own plans. She enters the competition as a middle finger to the meddling 13 rulers, effectively vying for her own hand in marriage. Unfortunately, there are those who would rather see her dead than leading the city. The only ones she can trust are the ones she can't keep her hands off of, Achilles and Patroclus. But can she really believe that they have her best interests at heart when every stolen kiss is a battlefield? A scorchingly hot modern retelling of Achilles, Patroclus, and Helen of Troy. So I love these. They're all retellings, reimaginings. It's great. And I'm very excited to read this. They're interconnected standalones as well, which is really good. I love that. I love series that are like that so that I can read them out of order, or like, you know, I don't get left on such heavy cliffhangers that like I just get trapped in the world for like weeks on end. So that's that one. Also, these kind of have like fantastical elements in them. They're kind of like magical realism, but not. And final spin. So let's hide the green on the cover. Final spin. A book that matches the clothes you're wearing. Okay, brown and black. I don't know what book is gonna have brown and black. I'm struggling with this one, guys. I'm thinking maybe City of Glass. I feel like, does that kind of match? No, it really doesn't, does it? I also, you guys are gonna be heartbroken, but I'm also thinking about getting rid of my Cassandra Clare collection. Isn't that so sad? I think I might try and read this book and then decide from there if I'm gonna get rid of it or not. But I don't know, I just like, I've read City of Glass and City of Bones, and like I think I've read City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass before. I don't think I've read City of Fallen Angels, and I keep seeing so much stuff come up on my TikTok and it's kind of spoiling it for me. And I have also watched the TV series before, so like I know a lot of what happens in the story, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be bothered. I don't think I have one for that particular prompt, so we're gonna do one more spin because I don't have anything that's brown and black that fits. So let's hide that slice and go again. It's a book that's been on the TBR for a while. Okay, I definitely have some options. Definitely have some options. First Time Colony, Empire of the Vampire has only been on there for 12 months. Brutal Prince has only been on for a little while. Same with The Shadow House by Anna Downs as well. Also, I realized that I've actually like been on top of reading. I'm really worried that there's a fire near my house right now. Just with how this is all looking, it's really scary outside. Yeah, there is. That's why the air looks the way it does. There is a fire in Tambourine Mountain and I live quite close to Tambourine Mountain. No wonder it looks the way that it looks outside. I don't know if you would be able to see. Back to looking for books. So in terms of books that have been on here for quite a while, we have A Court This Cruel and Lovely. We have Throne of Glass, but book Bestie and I want to read that together. We have The North Wind. We have Lightlark. We have Frostbite, Fallen. We have The Safe Place, Verity, Consider Me, Heartless by Elsie Silver. They're probably the ones that have been on here the longest, or like the Morganville Vampires. But that's a really big series that I don't want to commit to starting. And I also don't want to read Fallen because I don't want to commit to that series either because I'm in the middle of so many already. I did just recently start Vampire Academy, so I could do Frostbite. I'd be okay with doing that. Same thing, I don't want to do Lightlark because I don't want to start a new series. Same with The North Wind, I don't want to start a new series. I'm pretty sure Caught This Cruel and Lovely is also a new series, and I don't want to start a new series. Okay, I'm just gonna like stop you guys for a second, and I'm just gonna read the back of The Safe Place, Verity, and Frostbite, and just pick which one I want to read. So I'll be back in a sec. I fear that reading the back of these did no help. I'm really eager to read all of them. So I either continue a series, read a random thriller, read a random psychological thriller. I don't know which one. And I can't even ring Book Bestie to ask because he is doing placement for uni. So you know what? I'm going to put Frostbite back because we do have 5 fantasy already and 4 non-fantasy books. And then I just have to decide between Verity and The Safe Place. I do love Anna Downs' writing. Oh, but it's really tiny. Okay, no. We're going Verity purely because look at how tiny the text is compared to that in Verity. So we're going Verity. Let's do a quick rapid fire because this is taking way too long to film because I didn't know what I wanted to read. Like I said, Brimstone by Callie Hart, which is book 2 in the Fae and Alchemy series, will also be on the TBR. Also, Book Bestie and I will probably do a buddy read again. He is about to finish Lights Out and I have softly DNF'd that for now. I just haven't been in the mood to read it. So yeah, it got a soft DNF. It got a DNF for now. The book that we picked for orange on the cover was Glow of the Everflame by Penn, which is book 2 in the Kindreds Curse saga. I am just putting my books on my TBR cart as we go. The next one we got was yellow on the cover and we picked The Rose Bargain by Sasha Peyton-Smith. Super excited to read this. It's a cute little short fantasy and I'm super excited to read that. Next we got Reread a Fave and I picked out Hooked by Emily McIntire. I'm super excited to do a reread of this. I think it'll just be really interesting to see if I still love it as much as what I did, considering this was the book that got me back into reading. Then we got, I don't know if this is in order, but then I remember getting a book with purple on the cover and when we went with Fearful by Lauren Roberts, which will completely finish off this series and I'm super excited for that. Did I do 2 for purple on the cover? Oh no, that was a book that was under 300 pages, sorry. Fearful was a book that was under 300 pages. And then we picked a book with a mythical creature on the front and we picked Direbound for the little direwolf on the sword. I don't actually know what order these are, so we're just gonna go. The next prompt we got was a book with purple on the cover and we picked Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, book 6 in the Boys of Tommen series. Super excited to like be fully up to date with this series and get Lizzie and Huey's story. Super excited for that one. Then we got a book with blue on the cover and we picked A Crown So Silver because I'm already a third of the way through it and I really want to finish this, and this is one of my 10 before the end books and I'm really happy that we've got 4 books. We've got 4 books from my 10 before the end on this list, so yeah, so I'm super excited about that. But A Crown So Silver by Lyra, Selene, it's book 2 in the Fairfolk trilogy. I really want to get that book done. Then we got a book with green on the cover and we picked Wicked Beauty by Katee Robert. Again, 3rd book in this series. I love it, love this series so far, love her writing, super excited for this. We also got a book that is over 500 pages and we picked Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas, a dark taboo romance. All for it. I don't even think it's a dark romance, I just think it's more like a taboo romance, which all for. The next prompt we got was a book that's been on the TBR for a while and we picked Verity by Colleen Hoover. Super excited for this. I've heard really good things about this book and I would like to just tick it off so that I, like, you know, it's been done. That is the last book on the TBR. Can't believe I just put all them in there. I need to take thumbnails. Anywho, so that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I've put on the TBR for this month. Let me know what your, like, where you're at with your reading this year. Are you almost at your reading goals? Have you passed your reading goals? I have well and truly passed my reading goals. I think my goal was to read 1 book a week, so 52 books this year, and I've read something like 74 or 75, so I'm super happy with that. If you want any annotated books, head over to my Etsy shop. That'll be linked on the screen and in the description below. If you haven't already, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. That again will be on the screen and in the description box below. That is it for me today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Mwah.